Hello and welcome. My name's Melissa Porter.
And my name's Nick Freeman.
Welcome to The Life Coach.
I'm the lawyer.
Join us as together we tackle your toughest problems using our unique combination of wisdom and experience. Okay, Nick, we have 2 email problems. First one is from Neil from Stoke. I love my partner of 3 years and I don't want to get married. She started to force me and she's giving me an ultimatum. Help. I do love her, but marriage is just not for me. Okay, Neil.
Do we know how old Neil is, and do we know how many times he's been married before?
36.
Oh, he's a young guy. Do we know whether he's been married before?
Don't know whether he's been married before.
Well,
This is a common problem. This is a common problem that I've heard, that women feel that they have a right to force a man to marry them, or they have a right to attempt to force a man to marry them. This is something I'm so passionate and against. Well, For me, if someone wants to marry you, blow your hair back, but we do not force people to marry us.
Or to do anything.
To do anything.
To fly, to go on a train. Anything that they don't want to do, we just don't force them, do we? Because it's not healthy. To force someone to, he's obviously got problems with marriage. We've no idea why he has that reluctance. Is it he has doubt in her? Or is it that he has doubt in himself? Has he had a bad experience as a child? There are so many different issues. But
he might be emotionally unintelligent. He might have...
Or he might be really smart and realise this is going to end up in catastrophe and I don't want to expose myself to it and children. We just don't know enough, do we? But I think you and I can probably agree, if he's reluctant, he can go and have counselling with his partner and they can discuss it and iron out all the things that we don't know about and see if that changes his mind. And if not, my advice probably would be, she wants marriage and he doesn't, and that's their permanent position. And if it's that much, it's so important to her and it's so important to him not to, they're probably not best suited.
But see, this is a fascinating one for me, because actually what really is, unless you're looking at it from a religious perspective, what really is marriage? What really is it? Because for me, marriage simply is a contract which involves finances, which for me is something that is completely separate from, okay, we're not married, we have a relationship. And our relationship is born from love, trust, integrity, kindness, mutual exchange of values.
And one day we may well be married.
Absolutely. But at the moment, our relationship is based on those core foundations.
Well, I hope it'll always be based on
and
that.
should we choose, and this is what I think women and men need to remember, should we choose to take it to a contract level, there are a series of considerations. With us two, there's going to be financial implications, because I'm 50 plus, you're 60 plus. So plus. We both come with children who we also want to financially protect, and not just financially protect. We don't want to stress them out. We want to do what we can to make sure they think, oh my gosh, this isn't the first marriage. For you, this isn't the second marriage. This will be a third marriage. So there's almost a reassurance that,
I think the children have to go on with their own lives, to be honest. For me, that's the issue in marriage is, I know the children are always a consideration, but the main issue is the people who are getting married. And if that's good, then everything else that flows from that will be good. So, look, I think.
But I wouldn't have liked to come into a relationship with you. And after 6 months, you said to me, I want to marry you. I wouldn't feel comfortable. You've got 2 older children already. We've now got 1 child together. And for me, there needs to be a period of time where we learn we see each other through the different seasons. We see each other through different problems.
The relationship matures, doesn't it?
Well, and there's a trust.
And it's how it matures. And it can mature in a positive way or a negative way. And that takes time.
And this is the question. These are the questions that Neil, and the conversations Neil needs to have with his partner.
Well, I think they both need counselling, because I think the idea, if you said, I really want this and I didn't really want it, and if you both love each other, you probably, neither of you would want to force the other to do something they don't want to do. And there seems to be a situation here where maybe the love isn't intense enough for this relationship to work, or maybe it's a deal breaker. If you force a man to say, if you don't marry me, I'm going to leave, my advice to the man will be, bye, because the man's not making a decision of his own free will. And the reverse is true as well.
Well,
it has to be a situation you want.
But it also paints a picture of the dynamics of the female or the male that's doing the pushing. That's a very pushy person who feels very entitled to get their needs met at the costs of the other person.
There's no balance of meeting each other's needs, are there?
Yeah.
They're doing the opposite, in fact. They're just trying to meet their own needs.
It fascinates me because when we met, my spiel to you was, I'm happy to have a relationship and I'll be exclusive. I definitely don't want to get married. I would like to live in a separate house from you.
And a separate country.
And preferably in a separate country.
I thought all my dreams had come true.
And for me, Nick, that was very strategic because, my intention was for us to get to know each other. I needed to get to know you at my own pace, and I needed you, to earn my respect. Mm-hmm. That for me, it was all about.
So it was strategic and not a genuine.
No,
expression of
because
desire.
I couldn't have bared for a man at my mature age to come into my life, love bomb me, say I want to marry you. You don't even know me.
No, of course not. And
you don't know me. There's no rush.
We've got 3 children. There'd be no need. There's no need. But these people have been together for 3 years, haven't they? Is that right?
I love my partner of 3 years.
Of 3 years. So they're on the way to knowing each other pretty well. So we need to explore why she wants it, why he doesn't. And I would have thought counselling.
And what does this come down to? Communication. I love open conversations and honest conversations.
Yes, but people...
where you're vulnerable and truthful.
But couples, I know you once locked me in the bedroom for 4 hours, but lots of guys wouldn't cope with that. They'd actually sort of get very angry.
Can I just caveat that? I locked him in the bedroom because we were engaged in a conversation which I wanted to mature, as opposed to, that's it, let's go and talk about the dog.
How did that work for you, Nick?
Okay, Neil, I hope that answered your question. Right. So
Can we just say to Neil, she may be the one. Please get some help. Don't just jettison it. Don't feel threatened. Explore what actually is really going on with a third party who's professionally trained, because you might be losing something that's really good.
Yeah, and for me also, marriage is a very scary thing because it's almost like severing freedom, and I like to feel free. So there is certain people like myself who feel fear of being trapped.
Absolutely.
And that's something that you can chat through with your partner or separately with a counsellor.
What a difference a day makes.
Okay, Shirley from Tunbridge Wells is a stay-at-home mum with 2 children, 11 and 13. I've completely lost my mojo. I feel angry and resentful towards my husband who travels for work, and I'm stuck at home bored.
They sound like they haven't had a chat recently about what's going on. I assume he's the breadwinner. He's obviously doing very well, keeping them in a good lifestyle. And she's, at a low ebb, which one can understand if she's looking after kids and doesn't want to. And the danger signs are there, is if that continues without proper communication, they're going to part company, aren't they? Because she's going to accidentally slip into another relationship to get her needs met. So they need to have a serious chat ASAP yesterday and sort out what's going on. Did she agree to bringing up the children? What's made aboard? What does she do for a living? What did she do? She needs some work, some stimulation, some charity work. The situation cannot continue because it will end in disaster.
Yeah, no, it's a fascinating one, and irrespective of the genders, there are many stay-at-home dads nowadays as well as stay-at-home mums. Irrespective of our jobs and our roles within the family hierarchy, within my coaching, there's a term that I use with clients who feel like they're stuck, and it's a simple reframe of one word. Instead of saying, I've got to do this, like I've got to do the laundry, I've got to do the school run,
I want to do it.
I get to do this.
Okay, I get to do it. So it's I want.
You look underwhelmed.
No. It's what you're saying is you're just tweaking the mindset.
Yeah. Well, feel it in your neurology, your physiology.
So look,
How does the difference feel?
We came downstairs.
I get to sit with
and
you.
our dog was really, really ill, bless
Yeah.
him. And you're confronted with the most horrendous sight on a Sunday morning. And you think, and then you think, actually, this is an opportunity to look after this poor animal. And this is an opportunity not to shame him, not to make him feel bad. And so it's how you look at a problem, isn't it? And if you actually look at it and say, actually, I'm going to define my original reaction, which is one of anger, disgust, and I'm going to turn this round and make it positive, because the situation is going to be there. It's going to have to be dealt with. So much better you deal with kindness. So they need to talk, don't they? And they need to sort it out.
Communication, yeah, another top tip.
And there's obviously been an absence of communication, because I suspect this isn't something that's suddenly arisen. It's gone on for a while, it's festered, and it needs to be grabbed hold straight away.
And my advice would be, Shirley, anger is an umbrella emotion. And what that means is it shields many other different emotions that we're feeling that are more relevant to us. And for me, you're angry at your husband, and that's not true. You are truthfully angry at yourself for losing your way.
Yeah.
And that truth needs to be respected and heard by yourself. You are angry at losing your way.
So you're saying take responsibility for where you are, because what she's doing is she's moving that responsibility. She's blaming her husband.
Take responsibility.
Who's probably even unaware of it. I don't know.
Unaware of it.
He might be.
And one of the problems, one of the challenges that we have when we're raising children, as a mother myself, I can speak firsthand of this. We give to our children, and what happens in the process of giving, it's an energy that's required, that's taken from ourselves. We are physically depleting ourselves in the process of giving something. And it's equally as important when we give that we receive. So I suggest to any parents, male or female, don't think you're being selfish when you lie down and put cucumbers on your eyes or you meditate.
Do you do that?
Feel that it's a selfless act.
If you don't look after yourself, you're not going to be able to look after anyone else, are you? You're only as good as how you are.
You like looking after yourself. How many facials do you have every week?
Not as many as you.
Touche. Shirley, I hope that helps.
Talk, Shirley. Don't let it fester. As soon as he comes back from his next trip, sit down and have a really honest, kind discussion with no blame, no shame. The idea being you're going to sort this problem out so that it suits you both. That's got to be the agenda.
Connect back to what you love. I started when I had Pierce. I lost my mojo a little bit. I would start with simple things like making a coffee, and I thought to myself, right, what milk do I want? Do I want almonds?
I suspect she wants to get back to work. I suspect that's what's going on.
Okay,
she
Nick,
doesn't want to be
but
at
not
home.
everybody has the luxury of being able to leave their children and go to work, because
the children are at school.
Okay,
aren't they?
But not everybody has that luxury. So my point is, start by doing small things like making a coffee, and then you connect back to yourself.
Everything, make it
and
as nice as it can.
And the work will come from that.
Make it as nice as it can be, but I think significantly she wants some mental stimulation, at least. Because I imagine that if she's feeling as she is, the rest of the relationship's not going too well either, which isn't healthy, is it?
Yeah. So you've got a responsibility to take responsibility. Good. Thank you. If you'd like to be part of our show and remain anonymous, please do email us any name and your problem to admin@melissaportercoach.com.